one of the things that I would love to do is to get into the experience of what it was like to follow Jesus. And sometimes when you read through the Gospel of Mark, you can get a little bit of a flavor through just saying things that happened, for example, in one day, of what it was like to live with Jesus. When I read through the Gospel of Mark, right even from the beginning, there are things that Jesus said and did that could help me to understand that, oh, Jesus was real. For example, in the first chapter of Mark, we find Jesus getting angry. Imagine that, Jesus getting angry. And then at another point, he sees people that are really suffering, and he has great pity on them. He really reaches out to those people that are suffering. You know? Jesus had a power of being able to turn people's lives around with great cures. And so not only would he get angry when people were hurting other people, not only would he be filled with pity, but he had a wonderful gift of healing. He could allow a person that's blind to see a person that had never walked to walk, even people that were dead to rise from the dead. But what I find interesting in Mark is this great power was something about which he was very humble. And he wanted to kind of move away from the crowds and their, oh, hey, you're wonderful, this, because it wasn't important for him to be praised because he knew God loved him. And so there's a humility about this power of being able to heal. So he can be angry, he can be very emotional, he can be filled with pity. He can also be very humble around the healings that happen in his life. And in the midst of all of this adulation, all of these people that wanted to say how great he was, he wanted to move away and go to a deserted place to pray. Prayer was very important in his life. And so here, just think about this, if you will, these little statements about who Jesus was. He could be very angry at people that were hurting others. He was a person filled with great pity for those that were suffering. He was humble with regard to his power of bringing healing. And he loved to be able to get away from the crowds, to be quiet in deserted places with his Father. May we hear that and imitate that in our own lives. And now may Jesus' love for you always make you smile.